Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, I am going to show you guys a stack of books that are sitting off to my right. These are the books that I am probably going to be sending in to CGC to actually have graded. Most of these books have actually been in my possession for a while. Most of them are also Silver Age books. So I'm excited to get these books all bundled up and sent off. I can tell you it'll be a little while before I'm actually in a position to actually bundle them up, mostly because each and every one of these books needs to be cleaned and pressed. So that is part of what I'll be doing next. And there's one or two other books that I'm actually thinking about adding to the stack depending upon how everything kind of shakes out, that are books that are already graded that I might actually crack the cases and send the books back in to be graded. So we'll see what happens with that. But the goal, once I kind of wrap up this video, is to kind of continue wrapping my mind around what I'm sending in, to start the cleaning and pressing process, and then again to ultimately send these books in to be graded. So fingers crossed for me that within hopefully the next couple of weeks I can get all of this stuff done. And I say that because my schedule is going to be a little crazy, but I am determined to get it done. So there are two books that are sort of on like my maybe list. And the first one is this one right here. This is Batman Adventures number 12. This is a pretty nice copy of this book. I actually have, I think, a 9.0 on the wall behind me. This one actually has the potential to be higher than that. This book can definitely benefit from a press, but I feel like it's going to be higher than a 9.0, but I want to wait until after the press to really get a hard look at this book. But I feel like it could come in, you know, maybe a 9.4, if not a little higher. So we will see. This next book is one that I'm on the fence about, and I'm sending it potentially because of sentimental reasons. And I say sentimental because when I was younger, I was a Spider-Man fan, but I was never an Amazing Spider-Man fan, primarily because I could not afford Amazing Spider-Man. But what I could afford, Web of Spider-Man. And this is a book that I, even back then, could not afford, but I read a whole lot of Web of Spider-Man, and I always wanted the number one, and I actually have two copies of the number one. This is the better of the two, and I kind of want to send this one in for sentimental reasons. I think it could also come back at a decent grade as well, but this is one that I'm sending in for the purpose of getting graded so that I can have it, you know, in the collection and actually be able to put it up on a wall to be able to display it. So definitely a sentimental play right here, not necessarily a value play. So the next couple of books I think are really cool books. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. All these books that I'm about to show you, I think are really cool. And some of them are a little lower grade than others. But all very, very good books. This is Fantastic Four number 48. I actually have multiple copies of this book. This is definitely a lower grade book. It actually has a pretty sizable tear, a little over 1 inch tear right here. The spine is definitely worn, and then there's a nice size crease that runs across the top here. But it is Fantastic Four number 48. So, you know, it's one of those books you kind of send in. But that book has actually been in my collection probably for well over a year now. It's been with me. This next one is just a really, really cool book that I was pumped to be able to get this book in the collection. And it's been sitting in a bin for a little while now. Really, really nice copy of Daredevil number 1. This one has the potential to come back at a pretty nice grade. There's a little bit of some wear in the upper right hand corner. There are some dirty spots on the book that I think should be cleanable. But we will see. We will see once I break it out of its plastic here and actually start to work on it. We'll see how clean we can actually get it. But I feel like that's really just a great book to have in the collection. This next one is a book I've probably had this one for getting close to 2 years now. Iron Man number 1. Definitely a cool book. And again, it's one of those books that you want to have in your collection. I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan, but Iron Man #1 is one of those books that I really enjoy having in the PC. This next book is another sentimental play. And it's a sentimental play because I have literally had this book in my collection since I was maybe 16 years old, if not a little younger than that. I don't exactly remember how I came about this book. It might have been through a trade with a friend or someone just gave it to me. I honestly cannot remember. It is Daredevil #7. And this book is, like I said, been in the collection for a long time, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon, except for off the CGC. Just a really cool book. It is a low grade copy. I mean, this thing may come back at like a 3.5. And again, the press will help it, and we'll see how it looks after it's been pressed. The next book, Thor 134. Yeah, this is the first appearance of the High Evolutionary. This is a book that I wanted for quite some time. Hunted and hunted and hunted, trying to find a nice copy of it. And this one is actually a pretty decent copy, where I did not hurt the bank to get it. But this is a book that definitely will benefit from a press, and we'll see how this book looks once it actually comes out of the press. This next one of my favorite covers. It really is one of my favorites. It is Strange Tales #158, first appearance of the Living Tribunal. This book is just dope. Those colors, the red, the yellow. And I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan, but I just love this book. I absolutely do. Strange story. I'm going to just tell you. Strange story, dope cover. Next, we have a little bit. Well, let's do this one first. This is actually a book that I actually picked up from one of my local comic shops. You guys probably remember from one of the hunts that I did not that long ago. I had an opportunity to preview a collection, was able to set aside a couple of books for myself. The shop sold them to me at a fair price. It is Doctor Strange 169, the origin of Doctor Strange. Definitely a cool book. This one will probably come back at maybe a 4. We will see what it looks like when it comes out of the press, but maybe a 4, maybe a 4.5. But a lot will be revealed once the book is pressed out and I'm able to look at it under light and kind of see what's what. The last 2 books are basically the exact same book. It is Fantastic Four #50, 2 copies of this one. I'm primarily getting this one graded because I want to be able to put the Galactus trilogy up on the wall, 48, 49, 50. I have graded copies of each one of them, but I do not have a graded copy of 50. So that is part of what's motivating me to actually send this one in. And because I'm sending one, I thought I might send 2. Both of them are probably, one's maybe a 3, this one, and one might be a 4 on a good day. So there you have it. Those are the books that I'm going to be sending into CGC, plus or minus maybe 3 or 4 other books. We'll see. We'll see what I can scrape together, but I'm trying to do like a Silver Age submission. At least that's where my head is right now. But we will see. We will see. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, I definitely want to encourage you to give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment behind so we can mix it up in the comment section. And if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at RegieCollects on Instagram or RegieCollects@gmail.com. Take care.